Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and we're live at the HCCTV studios this morning. Benji's here to join me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm here.
it's tax day. Sending your taxes?
No, I'll have to do that later today.
Okay, I was going to say, that's not optional.
Yeah, or ask for an extension,
Well,
which
you
you
can
can
do
do.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can do that, folks.
Yeah, but you eventually have to file them.
Yeah. Don't take financial advice from me and tax
Obviously
advice.
not. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon. Wow. Okay. Anyway, we've got a great show lined up for you. We've got some special guests joining us in just a moment. But on this Tuesday, which is tax day, Benji, we got a Tasty Tuesday guest coming to us from Galveston in just a few moments. But we want to thank everyone watching us on Facebook and YouTube. We're here just about every morning when HCC is in session. You can catch us live at 10 a.m. or on social media or our cable channel.
Yeah, we're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC, but Houston Community College District. We're also on YouTube, X, LinkedIn, and on HCCTV, our own TV channel, where you can catch rebroadcasts of this show at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
So, mentioned Tasty Tuesday. Galveston got a new restaurant down there in a newly opened hotel. And Matt Sweeney is the executive chef of the Fancy at Hotel Lucine. Good to see you there.
Hey, glad to be here.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to hearing all about the Fancy. I know we had one of our other guests said it was her favorite place. So, we're looking to hear all about that in just a few moments. We'll be with you in about 10 minutes.
Great, sounds good.
All right, we're going to kick things off this morning. So you were at the art car parade over the weekend.
Yes, my first
Shooting
time.
the special.
That was pretty cool.
It's
Yeah.
pretty cool out there.
Yeah, it was. That was my first time, like I said, and well, I had a blast, really.
And you met a guy,
Yeah.
right? And you interview, and then you realize his wife works here at HCC.
Well, yeah, it was we were walking in with the camera equipment.
Yeah.
And then this gentleman who we're gonna talk to here in a little bit, he's like, "Oh, HCCTV. I think he's like, my wife works with y'all." And I was like, "Your wife?" And then I see somebody waving me down, and it's Giselle from communications.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, we have him here today on the show. He's HP Dodge. He's actually, let me introduce first place winner in the painted art car entry, and like I said, spouse of HCC graphic designer Giselle Dodge. Welcome to the show, HP.
Hey, how are y'all doing today?
You're doing good. I mean, it was really a nice meeting you last weekend, and when I covered the parade, it was actually my first time to see it, like I said. So it was great to witness such an iconic Houston experience. I mean, how does it feel to be part of an experience like that, the art car parade here in Houston?
I mean, honestly, one of the best things to do in Houston is the Art Car Parade. It's just an extremely fun event. There's people from all walks of life, even out of state. People come from out of state. And if you're in Houston in April, that's a must. If you've never done it before, you definitely have to try it at least once.
Yeah, of course. And so tell us about your entry, the name of it, and everything about it.
So the entry is a 99 Chevy Silverado that I actually got for free from a neighbor. So he is a fireman, and he owned the truck, and then his son owned the truck, and then his son's best friend owned the truck. And then it was sitting in his driveway one day for about a week, and I was sitting there building the fence, and I said, "Hey, what's wrong with the truck?" And he's like, "Oh, nothing." He's like, "The John got a new truck, so we're going to take it to the burn yard and cut it up and set it on fire and use it for training." And I was like, "Whoa." I was like, "Hold on a minute. I need a work truck. What would you like for it?" And he was like, "Well, let me think about it." And he came back that afternoon and he threw me the keys and he said, "You can have it." And I
Wow.
was just blown away by his hospitality. I'm still extremely grateful to this day for that. And after that, I had it for probably about a year, and then I decided I needed to paint it. So, because that's what I do for a living.
Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh, this will be a fun little project." And a fun little project turned into 14 months and over 500 hours. And it just got way out of hand, as most projects do. But now that it's complete, I'm just ecstatic to get to drive it around. If you ask my little girl, it is her truck now. So we'll have it for at least probably another, 18 to 20 years at minimum. So
Yeah. And and let me add, not only did it take you so long over the hours, but how many paint cans did you use? Because this is all done with paint cans, right?
yeah, so it's all done with spray paint. All the base colors are done with spray paint. It was so far, because I still have a few other pieces of paint. We're at 151 cans of spray paint. So 151 cans of spray paint, 2 coats of pearl, and 7 coats of clear coat. So
And I know you told me when I was interviewing you over there that you still have all the cans with you. Are those it right there behind you?
so these are actually all still good cans. This is my
Okay.
stockpile from previous jobs. I did keep every single can, and I do anticipate on building or making something with them that I can keep in the back of the truck, either to show at events. Just it's a fun little. It shows people just how much really went into it, how much paint is on the truck. I guess it's abnormal to put that much paint on a vehicle.
Okay, yeah. And so I interviewed you at the parade and I think they had the award ceremony the day after. Was that later after the parade? I mean, tell us
They
about the
had,
awards and the categories and eventually what happened there and what you won.
well, so we actually didn't go to the award ceremony because my family and I were all recuperating from Saturday, but the award ceremony was from 11 to 2 on Sunday, and that's where they typically do it. It's usually always the day after our car parade.
Mhm.
I found out yesterday around noon whenever the Houston Chronicle posted their list of winners. So I was my little girl and my mother who came in town just for the art car parade. We were all dancing and cheering in the living room, just ecstatic. Um, yeah, I was very surprised. I didn't. That was not the intention. It was just
Yeah.
like I said, it was a fun work truck, and I've done art car previous years, and I was like, now that it's done, we have to do it. And this was just an awesome byproduct of all the hard work and late nights.
Yeah, I mean it's a beautiful car when you see it, and what I liked about it is that they had you lined up with all these like low riders and these cars with all those pneumatic systems that like bouncing up and down. I mean, it kind of fit in place there really because of the paint, and because it just looks like this was a professional paint job, and rightfully so. It could have been, but the fact that it was done with spray paint cans, that's insane.
A lot of people. First off, I love the low riders. As a painter, low rider paint jobs are some of the most complex and beautiful paint jobs out of any spectrum. So I was super excited. Not to mention any car with hydraulics. I just love that too. When you could drive on 3 wheels in a circle, it's just I love. I mean, I'm a gearhead. I like basically anything that's got wheels or goes fast or anything like that. So I was super happy to be with those guys. There's multiple awards. They have bicycles. They have schools. So a lot of schools participate. They have low riders. They have daily drivers, which is another fun one. They have I think there's like 15 or 16 different categories. So
Wow.
there's a lot of options that you can get into as far as going there. They're not picky at all. I mean, if you've put time and effort and made something really fun and cool there, you could definitely do the art car parade.
Yeah. And was this your first vehicle that you submitted? Because when I was interviewing people, there was multiple people who this is like their third, fourth car that they've done for Art Car Parade. Is this your first vehicle, or have you done this before?
This was my second vehicle. So I
Okay.
still currently have a 97 S10 that I painted to look like they're called P-40E Warhawks. They were called the Flying Tigers they used in World War II fighter plane. That was my first. I did in 2015 and in 2018. And the first year I did in 2015, I did win a third place award for best painted vehicle. So almost a decade ago. And then once I got this truck finished, I was like, we have to do our car parade. It's just like I said, it's such a fun event.
No, it is. It is a fun time out there. And is there any other work that you do, maybe in the art community or anything else that you could share with us?
So I do murals. I do murals, metal fabrication. I've done graphic design, um, shoes, surfboards, hats, clothes,
Wow.
go-karts, guitars. I specialize typically in wall murals and vehicles is kind of what I specialize in now. And I still do metal fabrication. It just depends on the day.
hmm
I do like changing it up. Sometimes it's not always that fun to stare at a wall for a month at a time.
Yeah.
So it's nice to do a little bit of metalwork is a little more hands-on, a little more exciting. But yeah, I like keeping it diverse. It's just I can't necessarily do the same thing every day.
Yeah, yeah, of
Plus,
course.
being an artist, it's very helpful to have a diverse skill set, because not artwork's not always on the top of list for people to want to purchase. So it's good to have other skills.
So, but the murals, is there any mural around town that we can check out, like that you know anywhere?
In Houston, I can't think of in Houston. In Texas City at Mall of the Mainland, there's a place called Restaurant Row. It's 5 restaurants in a row. I did all 5 restaurants. It's a huge space. It's probably close to, man, probably 75 yards long.
Oh, wow.
In Galveston, where Matt is, I've done a lot of restaurants and businesses
Okay.
there in Galveston, such as Bruchacho's, Stuttgarten, Club Envy, the Bin Store, and I know there's places I'm forgetting. I've been doing it for a while, so
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
look for it.
All right, and I just want to close off the interview with this last question. I mean, what advice would you give to young creatives or students at HCC, who might want to pursue something like this in the art industry?
Man, the best advice I can do is just make sure you really love what you're doing, because at times it could be really tough. But yeah, just perseverance. Don't be shy. You got to put yourself out there. You're not always going to put out your best work. Like, you have to start somewhere. And talk to other artists, network. So that's some of the best thing, is talking with other artists. You meet amazing people. You get tips and advice, and also give advice to people who are just starting off. And yeah, you really gotta be willing to grind, because it's not art. Like I said, artwork's not at the top of people's list to pay for. So, like,
Mhm.
maybe out of every 100 clients that say they want artwork, 10 will actually pull through.
Yeah.
So you just don't let someone saying no, like, steer you away. Like, you should always just be like, okay, don't. And if you do a sketch for them and then they still don't want to do it, don't let that tear you down either. So there's a lot of people that I've done multiple sketches for, and then it never pulls through. So don't ever let that slow you down, because the longer you do it, the more clients you build, the more traction you have. And yeah, then eventually you get to a point where word of mouth can almost be enough. And obviously with social media and stuff, you want to do that. But if you can get to a point where you build up enough clients and you've done enough work, then it'll start paying for itself.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, HB Dodge. He's the first place winner in the painted art car entry, and let me say congratulations on that as well. I made him not mention that, and the spouse of HCC graphic designer Giselle Dodge. So we'll have all of your info in our post after the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good one.
All right. After a quick commercial break, Todd will return to talk to our Tasty Tuesday guests. So stay tuned.
At Houston Community College, we make your lessons matter. Open the door to real-world education, where passions become careers. Find out more at hccs.edu and let your success take flight.
That one day at PE when they were yelling at me, and then you just linked arms with me. I don't think you know how much that helped me. I finally knew that I had somebody.
Welcome back to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. We're live at the HCCTV studios. We're going to take you out to Galveston right now, joined by Matt Sweeney. He's our Tasty Tuesday guest, and Matt is the executive chef of The Fancy at Galveston's Hotel Lucine. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So, Chef Matt, I should say, Chef, tell us a little bit before we get to the restaurant itself. Tell us about the location. It's located inside a hotel. Is it a new hotel or a refurbished one?
So the building itself has been around since like the mid-century. I want to say like the 60s. It's been a couple different places. Most recently, the Pearl, and a couple of years ago, they refurbished the whole thing, and just put a ton of work into it and made this beautiful hotel right there on Seawall.
I know you guys say this is a restaurant that was created by locals. Tell us about that.
So the owners, Keith and Dave, Keith is from the island, and one of the main things that they wanted to do was sort of, put a bunch of work into the community and make something that everybody on the island can enjoy. So I think the Hotel Lucine is just sort of like a representation of this connection and love that they have for that space.
I know you specialize in locally sourced items. Maybe you can tell us about that. I mean, I know, especially with the tariffs coming in place, it's bringing to light. I've seen a lot of stories with local fishermen across the nation who are saying now we can get our products, our catches into the restaurants. Do you guys source them along with your other ingredients?
Yeah, actually, pretty much everything that we're getting is coming from Texas, with a lot of it coming from the island as I've spent a couple months there. So like the seafood, obviously we're working with Katie's Seafood. They have a bunch of people who have boats that deliver just to them. But as well as that, like I've found a couple of people on the island, namely Seeding Galveston and Galveston Greens, that are, I mean, they're farming on the island itself. So not only am I able to get locally sourced seafood, the majority of the produce that we're using comes from about a mile away from the restaurant at this point.
People hear the name The Fancy, but from what I understand, the name is more tongue in cheek. Is it?
Yeah, I mean, like I think it's I think just acknowledging sort of this juxtaposition of, again, they put in a ton of work. It's this beautiful dining room, and you have this beautiful ocean view. But it's a hotel and people are there to go to the beach. So it's like you can sit down and have, a delicious dinner, but, you're wearing flip-flops and then you go back into the pool afterwards. So I think it's just, like, it's fancy, kind of said with like a tongue-in-cheek, goofy Southern accent,
Tell us a bit about the menu and some of your most popular dishes. Do you guys have a signature dish?
So I change the menu too often, I think, to have a signature anything. But I think, yeah, just a big part of trying to be flexible and be a reflection of, working with people who are doing things the hard way and growing a bunch of vegetables just a mile from the island. And you sort of have to stay on your toes and you have to work with what, the world provides for you. So I think, just trying to take simple things and try and find the nicest ingredients and not ruin them on the way to the plate, I think is mostly.
Would you say your restaurant is more like a farm to table with, depending on what ingredients are in season and some of the things you can source locally and the dishes are created around them?
I do as much of that as I can, right? I think like it's important for us to sort of be consistent and have things, especially, to sort of be, a hotel restaurant. But there are ways to build into a menu a little bit of flexibility, sort of just the way that you're wording things. It gives me the ability to sort of rotate components of a dish or whether it's garnish or base, and just to sort of make sure that I'm able to highlight the things that are best when they are the best.
Chef, let me ask you this. Were you a resident on the island before you started working at the Fancy? And what is a little bit about your background?
I was not, and I'm still not actually a resident of Galveston. I left a job here in Houston, kind of at a weird time, and somebody that I had worked with previously had gone down to Galveston to start working with the hotel, and so they were hiring, and I was like, okay, so I went down and talked to them, and sort of noticed that this is like a really cool opportunity to reinvest in a place that I have always enjoyed. Like I am a native Houstonian, so I have spent a lot of time in Galveston, and it is really cool seeing this like unique and vibrant place that is so different than Houston, and it has, you know, just this like really strong sense of identity and culture. And I think getting to participate in that, I don't know, it's really exciting to me, just to be a part of a place that I've always really appreciated.
If you could say, what is your favorite dish you enjoy preparing? One, you said, you know, that this is really the thing I enjoy the most. What would it be?
I really like making pasta. There's just something about taking the time to, you know, work through it, and it's such a like an organic and human thing to, you know, you really got to work with your hands, and it's never the same twice. You know, you got to really sort of control all your variables, and you know, really take the time and just sort of get in that moment and be zen and work the dough. So whenever I get the chance to do that, it always is like a really important moment in my day.
Chef Matt Sweeney, we're talking with him. He is the executive chef at the Fancy at the Galveston's Hotel Lucine. He's also our Tasty Tuesday guest. Chef, very interested in checking out the Fancy. We're going to head down there. All of your social media information, we'll put that in our post after the show. We want to thank you for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right, and we are going to take another short break. When we come back, Benji and I are going to have a few announcements of things happening across the district. Stay tuned.
At Houston Community College, we make your lessons matter. Open the door to real-world education, where passions become careers. Find out more at hccs.edu and let your success take flight.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Welcome back to Up to the Minute. We're live at HCCTV with some announcements of things happening across the district. One of them is happening today. In fact, Recipes for Success Test-Taking Strategies. The Office of Student Life and HCC's Academic Student Success Centers are offering these workshops to empower students to take control and thrive during stressful times. Test-Taking Strategies is noon today. It's a Teams meeting. If you'd like to check that out, we've got the information in our post after the show, and we've got a student recital happening tomorrow.
Yes, HCC music students will perform what they have studied and prepared during their spring semester to showcase their development and skills. Like you said, it will take place tomorrow, Wednesday, April 16th at 7:30 p.m. at the Spring Branch Performing Arts Center. This is free, so check out our post after the show for more info. Now we have a step challenge, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a fitness thing. The Office of Student Life at HCC Southeast College and Rec Sports have launched a step challenge series through the month of April. Coming up next is Zumba class. You're going to be there?
Yeah, we'll be there.
All right. 1 to 2 p.m. tomorrow, April the 16th at the East Side Student Life Foyer lobby. Benji will be there, and he will direct you as to how you should.
I'm actually the
Zumba.
instructor there. I'm not.
No, he's not. Trust me, he's not. East Side Student Life Foyer, we'll have some information in our post. Pause for Paws Spring Dog Show.
Oh, West
Yeah.
Houston Institute will
Yeah.
host another spring dog show this week in its courtyard. Activities will include dog agility, a canine freestyle, dog tricks, obedience, and a photo booth. Don't miss the fun. This is the Spring Dog Show taking place on Thursday, April 17th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the West Houston Institute courtyard. So check our post after the show for more info. And I know we have a spring holiday coming up. Right?
Yeah. So this weekend, we've got a 3-day weekend starting on Friday. We're off Friday, so no up to the minute. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself, but we'll be back on the air Monday, April the 21st. Summer registration is underway.
Yes, make the most of summer by locking in classes to stay on track. HCC classes are still offered in a variety of programs, semester lengths, and a range of modalities, including online anytime, online on the schedule, hybrid, in-person, and hybrid lab. To learn more about HCC program start dates and options to cover costs, please visit hccs.edu/apply.
So tomorrow on the show, we're pleased to welcome our new director of Title IX, EEO, and ADA, and all those other very important departments. She will be here tomorrow on the show. As we mentioned, we welcome the return of HCC's Carolyn Tan and her popular spring dog show at the West Houston Institute. All that's tomorrow on the show. Are you on the show tomorrow?
No.
No, of course not. Okay. All right. He'll be back though soon, I'm sure. We'll see you tomorrow live at 10 a.m.